Hey, I'm Pete from PMG. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while, but we're back with a bang with a lovely brand new BMW M2. So, the all-new BMW M2, this is a first for us. This is the first one that we've had in. We've had a few of the new Shape 2 series and 240i's and stuff in. This is the first of the new M2. Well, what can we say? BMW is styling of late in the new M3, M4, basically everything they've made in the last while. It's been a little controversial. One thing I'm going to say straight up is I was quite surprised when I seen this car in person. It is way better looking in real life than what it is in any photograph I'd seen of it. The black is definitely helping add some stealth to some of maybe the lines that are a little bit cluttered or a little bit too chunky on some of the coloured cars maybe, but I'll reserve that judgment until I see one of those in the flesh as well. But black, this is one very aggressive looking little car. It's so fat and wide, and it's got those usual M car cues like the mirrors and big fat arches and stuff like that as well. So I'm pretty impressed with it. Now, this is a long-standing customer reward. This is one of his new collection. There's 500 miles on it at this stage, and it had been a showroom car. I'll talk a bit more about that later in the video. But first thing we need to do is get 500 miles worth of dirt off the car. So fairly straightforward wash process, but a very careful one at this stage. It's really important that we are making sure we have as much of any loose dirt where there's little bits of grit, etc., off the paint as best as possible. So I'm going to go in heavy with the pre-wash, give the foam lots of time to dwell. But enough talking, let's get it clean and inside and see, is there any dealership prep damage? There probably will be. I've spotted some already, I'm not going to lie. Let's get it clean and we'll go from there. that's all the wash process complete on the M2. It didn't really need a lot. It was dirty from being used, but there is only 500 miles on it. But the downside of this is the fact that it was prepped at the dealership. And this was a showroom car, a stock car, and it just happened to get offered to our customer a really good deal, and that's why he jumped on it. But ideally, if you're leaving your car to get detailer and you're picking it up new, get it totally untouched. You'll see there's now just lots of little contact marks all around the car, particularly around the badge and the front section of the front bumper. But every panel at every stage has got something somewhere, some really nasty little ones in around here. Thankfully, the carbon roof looks pretty good, although I do see a few deeper defects. Carbon is a little bit trickier to deal with than the painted finishes. And then we'll just check out the sides as well. A few in around the fuel cap there. And I'd spot it somewhere in the door handles and edges of the quarters in around here. So this just makes our machining process a lot more complicated than it needs to be. So if you're getting a brand new car, it really is advisable, get it untouched if possible. I know it kind of takes the shine away from going to pick up your new car and driving away with stickers and stuff in place, but it's worth it for the greater chance of us having a more perfect result at the end of the machining. Now, do you think there's nothing that really causes too much concern here, Stevie, would you say?
No, there's nothing too crazy on
it. Looking pretty good. And ultimately, the machining is going to bring out a lot more depth to the finish and stuff as well. So even if it hadn't have been touched by the dealership, we'd be machining it regardless. But it just maybe adds an extra step in now. It also ultimately means that we're taking more clear coat off the car than what would have been necessary before. And you don't want to be taking off too much, especially the car's only new. It has a whole lifetime to lead. So, don't really know, what do you think, Stevie? Maybe tackle this with a bit of foam, and if necessary, if there's some deeper marks, we'll step that up to microfiber if necessary, but hopefully we'll get away with just a good medium foam pad on this, and then a bit of refining just to finish off a bit of gloss, and that'll look properly like a new car then. So we'll get cracking. that buttons up the heavy correction stages on the M2. I don't really think it's fair to say heavy correction. Certainly didn't need any heavy paint correction, but we did have to use a heavier polish and pad combination than we first thought. I ended up stepping up the microfiber because there was just the odd little deep defect, but it was randomly spread across the car enough that rather than doing little spot bits, we just buzzed it down with the microfiber pads and the Maguire's correction fluid. Seems a little heavy-handed, but at the end of the day, we have to make this car perfect. It's new, and when you get a new car, you want it to be perfect. So that was the aim of the game. That draws today to a conclusion. That's the end of day one, which is good progress between me and Stevie. We've got all the prep done on the car in terms of its wet prep, and that's all the heavy machining stages completed as well. So tomorrow's going to see the start of the refinement process. It's going to be a very quick and straightforward refinement. But whenever we do a cut on a car like this and that we introduce a heavier compound and a heavier correction pad, like the microfiber pads, and although if I was to show you this in direct light, you probably will look at me and say, well, why are you refining that? It looks perfect. And it does. It looks absolutely amazing. But this will definitely add finish and gloss, because whenever you're using something more aggressive, it is putting those little micro abrasions in, and they all add up to just dull the clarity a little. So for all the time a refinement will take in the morning, we're going to do that, and then finally the bit that new cars are all about, getting the protection on. So see you tomorrow, and we'll get cracking with the refinement. That is the machining all buttoned up. The car looks exactly what you would like a new car to look like, if not even better, because the finish is much improved thanks to that two-stage machine polish. Car really looks fantastic. Now it's for the important bit of detail in a new car, and that is the protection. For this, we're going to be using Gtechniq's unbelievable Crystal Serum Ultra, which will be laying down, and then some XOV5, so you get that really high hydrophobic capacity. It's going to really assist with keeping it clean, which is an absolute godsend on a black car. I'm sure you'll agree. Then we'll be pulling those wheels off, coating those with C5 wheel armour, and the glass will be getting coated as well. All in all, that's going to have the car protected from top to bottom, can be used and enjoyed. I enjoy this part of the process now, as it really brings everything together. So we'll get stuck into that, and then finally we can show you it finished. complete, everything is buttoned up. So there's just one thing left to do, and that's show you guys it finished. That's how a new car should look. Looks absolutely mega from top to bottom now. The gloss, it's like a mirror sitting outside in the daylight there. It really looks absolutely fantastic. But the important thing is it is protected right from the offset. In an ideal world, we would like to get every single car directly from the dealerships before they have done any sort of cleaning work on them. We like to be the one that takes off the protective stickers, etc. And most dealerships are really accommodating for that. So if you're getting a new car, worthwhile speaking to your salesperson, and a lot of the times your detailer can liaise with them and actually get your car and get it done before you even take delivery of it. Now, obviously, sometimes there's exceptions to that, like this car happened to be a showroom display with a wonder deal that tempted John into buying it, and well, I'm sure he's glad. But in that case, the car had been prepped. The damage to it, minimal, and for most people, they wouldn't see it or wouldn't care. But if you're watching this channel, you're definitely one of those people that can see it and do care. So if you're getting a new car, it's worthwhile having that conversation with your dealer. I definitely would avoid getting dealer fit ceramic coatings, though. Those are always done to a budget. Quite often they're just done in-house with a team that's been paid a very basic wage, and the whole thing is about the profit at the end of the sale. It's bulking up their margin on the car. If you take it to an actual detailer, their job is to invest that time into getting you the best possible result. And if we don't get the best possible results, we don't have a business. We don't have a business that gets repeat custom and sustains itself. So you're going to be guaranteed a much, much better job, much more time spent in the car, and usually much better chemicals and protection products as well. So if you're getting a new car, worthwhile bearing that in mind. Well, that draws another video to a conclusion. Thank you for watching. Our next two videos are actually in the making behind us. Little barn find Beetle. Believe it or not, what you're seeing behind us is an improvement to what it was before we started. That might be a two-part one. We're just going to see what way it plays out because it has to go and get a little bit of corrosion repair before we do our thing, but we had a lot of cleaning to do before we could even look at going to get some corrosion repair. And then the snippet of what you're seeing in the corner is a beautiful 930 911, which we are doing correction and coatings on. And what a beauty of a car it is. That'll be the video that's up next week after this one. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in another one.